School is in session in Marionville. But there's no chalkboard.
Stand up straight.
No equations.
It's not for the weak-hearted.
Or scientific theories. But there is history.
Yeah. Come on, that's an old man doing it.
3 generations, each separated by 20 years.
It's an addiction, I guess. Once you do it, once you've been in there, it's just a thing. It just keeps driving you, just keep going.
In a classroom where students are encouraged to beat each other to the ground. Clay Ponder is the owner and promoter for his school, the Tiger Pro Wrestling Academy. He has been in the business for about 13 years. In the early 2000s, he wrestled in the indie circuit and ran another school in North Carolina. After moving back to Missouri, Clay decided he wanted to open up a school in January of this year.
Experience in the wrestling business is a big thing. You know how it works, how it operates.
After purchasing a ring, roughly $5,000, Tiger Pro has steadily been getting students.
We got a couple students now in the ring, and then we've got a couple other ones that are not able to make it today, but they are going to be training with us, and then I've got about 4 or 5 more that are going to be joining soon.
To help teach the students, Clay hired former WWF wrestler Terry Zeller.
Well, it was WWF back then. It's now WWE in the late 80s, going into the 90s. I wrestled for them quite a bit.
Terry has battled the likes of Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Bam Bam Bigelow, and even The Undertaker.
I come to here on Undertaker.
And how tall are you?
I am 5'8".
He and his wife Teresa have been married for 27 years. She says the key to being married to a wrestler is support and communication.
You just take care of the home and support him in whatever he is doing outside the home.
Babies me when I come home injured.
Terry took some time off to focus on his family until late last year.
Here I am, back at it, 54 years old, back at it in the ring again.
His role as head trainer is to teach his students the basics of ring movement, psychology, and being safe.
Trying to teach them the right way of doing this. There's a lot of organizations out there that aren't teaching the right way. I'm trying to take it back to basics, back to the 80s, back to the 90s, the way I learned, trying to teach these guys the same ethics and code of conduct that we had then.
So what does it take to be a wrestler in Terry's eyes?
Somebody's got integrity, somebody's got that natural talent, ability to want to do it and have to have the heart. It's all about having the heart to do this. It takes a special person. Philosophy is you do it 100% or you don't do it at all.
Today, 2 students take their first steps into the ring.
You know, I mean, I'd like to say that want to be on TV one day, but obviously you got to take it, you know, one step at a time.
Caleb and Cole are best friends from Russellville, Missouri. They have both decided that they will become professional wrestlers.
Yeah, we've actually been yelled at by parents in both of our houses for turning the house into a wrestling ring, and may or may not have tore out some rails and some staircases and things along those natures, but
So you broke a trampoline.
We're here now, so
Yep.
must have all been worth it.
In the wrestling world, you see giants and seemingly larger-than-life men and women. For these 2, they gravitated more towards the people that were similar to themselves.
Oh wow, I'm a short guy. I'm never gonna do that. And you see guys like Rey Mysterio, Marco Stunt, and all those guys that are my height and able to do that. Eddie Guerrero, he's 5'6", 5'7", one of the best wrestlers of all time. And when you see guys like that, it's really it blew my eyes open that I could actually do something like that.
My goal's pretty simple. My whole life, I was born with one arm, and everything I've done, I've always had people say he can't do it. He'll never make it. And there are some things I failed at, but I've always given it my all, my 100%. And I might not make it at this, but they're gonna have to kill me in order for me not to make it. That's all I can really say about that.
A new generation learning from the previous.
Broken noses, torn ACLs, broken fingers, broken bones. There's nothing fake about that. That's real. Predetermined, yes. But our job is to teach these guys how to put on a good show.
To build a future.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't see us holding tag team championships in the middle of this ring and many other rings. Yeah. So I mean, that's the goal. We're going to do whatever we have to do to get there. Singles matches, we'll fight whoever we have to. We'll take on all comers, but at the end of the day, that's my best friend, and we're going to be wearing tag team gold someday.